Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to Jobe's Town. I'm out taking a test ride, feeling some sunshine. Let me tune you guys in here, see what's going on. Okay, there you go. You guys can kind of see the tuned in a little closer as to what I'm seeing. I have some options. The bike is now done. I can pretty much do whatever I want now, which I haven't had these options in quite some time. It's way cool. It's kind of fun. Way cool. As you can see by my attire, I'm feeling it today a lot. It's been a good day. I've been very busy, but things are working, and I just got a awesome message which I wasn't quite sure about. I was kind of thinking, because I'd kind of heard through the grapevine, underground grapevine slightly, Cruise in Limburg is happening. Here's the details. And also, right before that, that's on the April 19th, which is, not far away. Right before that is it's a tough call, guys, because I kind of really, now I kind of think I want to go about a different way. I'm thinking. Feel free to put in the comments what you guys think, because we're here. I'm dressed like this because I feel like a lot of things now I would not have done before, but Mr. Soichiro, that's his stickers right here, Mr. Honda, he tells me what to do, and I do it. He told me to build this bike. I did it. And now he's like, and I listen, like, I try and translate what little bit I get, and he wants to go to both. I do too. So, first thing, let's just check this thing out, top to bottom. Let's make sure it's right. I think it is. It seems like it is. The last couple launches have been nuts. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our pump is off. Fuel is on. Key, pump. We got fuel pressure. That's what the choke off needs to warm up. Turn that back on. It's good. But I can see sitting right here. First thing I noticed, right here. And I think actually, yes, I have a towel in my pocket. Oil. 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 Weeping. Weeps out of my valve cover on this side. It's annoying. I don't think that's crankcase pressure pushing it out. I think it's just weeping because it needs a new gasket. Gah. But, you know, it's not much. It's just, it's residual little tiny stuff. You know, it's just, it's weeping its happiness. It's happy to have lots of oil. Yeah, it's dry over here. Almost 100% dry. It's a little bit in the middle down here. Not much, just a little bit. Yeah, really just more dirt and muck from, you know, riding, from catching junk from the front tire. You know, all the dirt front tire stuff ends up right here, so always got to keep an eye on that. And it's a little bit right there, a little bit right here. And really what this is, I know what it is. I know it's okay. This is so when I get to the racetrack, I can double check this and make sure it's clean, so they won't see a bunch of oil coming out and be like, yo, shut it down. You got oil, because they will. Okay. That all looks great. And yeah, some of the stains, it's because I run it so rich, I get lots of carbon in here. And when the condensation comes out, I get wet carbon that leaves stains. It's not leaking oil, guys. It's okay. And down here, just want to check by my carburetors. Everything's looking good. I don't see any leaks, no funny business, no fuel leaks. Everything looks great down there, so I think we're good. And also too, I'm going through my nut and bolt process. Touch and feel every nut and bolt on this thing. Make sure it's still tight. Otherwise, it might come loose. We don't want that. Found one. Wires a little bit over here. Valve cover bolts loose. Nut and bolt. Check out. Do it, guys. There's one. I can feel it's loose in my fingers. Let me get a screwdriver. Other inspection towel was used up. Got me a clean inspection towel, well, somewhat clean, kind of wipe my hands off. Always want to stay somewhat clean while you're doing this, so if it's dirty, you can tell. Your hands will get dirty instantly. And let me kind of show you guys where we're going to get down here, because everything else really is just a visual inspection, just looking it over. That's why it's on the stand. I wanted to be able to spin it right now on the stand. That's my custom pit stand that I make. I custom make these. It's just an A-frame that when you pull the lever down, it pulls the bike back, puts it up on the stand so you can oh, it feels great. That feels muy bueno. Yes. And that is my somewhat street sprocket, my somewhat engine street sprocket. I have one that's bigger for my land speed stuff. Dialed it back a little bit. I've really never raced with this setup because now we have I think that's basically a stock engine sprocket. The one I have for land speed is bigger. So I think that's a stock one with it's an Outlaw 530. Outlaw 530 sprocket that is a you guys can see, and I'm trying to see myself too.
I think it's a 40. Yeah, okay, there it is. 46 tooth. So I'm running a 46 tooth on the back with, I can't remember the tooth count on that one. And I don't see it on there, but it's a big sprocket because with the turbo motor, I can't gear it low, otherwise it revs way too fast. I tried that from the beginning thinking, you know, I could just stick with the same gearing. No. Stock gearing, it revs out. First gear is like, you need second gear before you can even get to third. So big gearing helps, and when you take off, it moves out. You really got to watch out, because when you drop that clutch and it comes off the rev limiter and that boost starts to come up, it's a bit brutal. You got to be holding on. That's why this seat really helps a ton too, because it cups my big booty in there, and my big booty can't slide off or, you know, push it back, because I've got it all braced up in there internally. And these big steel funny looking braces back here, that's because it's all braced up, keeping my big butt in place when I take off and drop that clutch with no, I don't care what it's happening. When I drop that clutch, we're going. And from the testing we have so far, it's good. So really now I'm just double checking, visual inspection, everything. And what I was saying about my crankcase pressure, I think that's not, I'm not leaking oil from my crankcase, because these are my crankcase pressure tanks right here. This one is my oil vapor tank that comes off the back of my crankcase. The back of my transmission crankcase comes to this tank, which has a vent right here. If you guys can see that. And this tank comes off my valve cover. So my valve cover tube right here comes down, comes into here. And I have a little bit of vacuum on this tank from the line that comes right here, comes down to my turbo. To right here. On top of my turbo, when the air comes into my turbo, I get just a little bit of vacuum on that hose right there, which comes down, it comes all the way back to this tank. And let's just see, because I haven't checked it since our last run. Yep, just a little bit of vapor and a little bit of oil that comes off the top of my crankcase, which gets vacuumed down to this tank from my turbo. Learned how to do that building drift cars many years ago. Works out great. And it doesn't go into my turbo because it gets caught in this tank. So unless that tank is full, you know, we're good. So, and then we'll check back here. Let me show you guys. Put my towel down here so we can kind of see if anything unruly comes out. I want to kind of catch it. Just drips of oil and vapor. What little bit of vapor goes in the transmission, you know, from my condensation, comes back here, you know, because when there's any pressure in there, it pushes it out to here. Yeah, it's almost next to nothing. And luckily, my big old tank, you know, it'll hold a half a quart, so we're good. Shut that off, keep it from dripping. That's really what this all. I can't drip at the racetrack. If we drip at the racetrack, they flag in, shut it down. And then your race car gets a big X on it and you go home for the day. However much money you put into that day for doing whatever, testing, racing, whatever. Nope, bye. Go fix your junk, then come back, pay some more money. That's racing. None of it's cheap. Even once you finish the entire process of building, tuning, it's so much work, it's not even funny. Yeah, you still can go home and pay lots of money and do nothing. It's lots of fun. Racing. So let me throw away, because I'm holding this towel that's got oil in it and some other vapors. So let's toss it on the ground. Please go. That's, if you guys ever see that, that's my trash can. That's why there's always trash stuck over here, because just waiting to go out, because my can is usually full. Oh yeah, got my hot rod. So, back out here. Almost kind of what I want to do too, because I can't check it and I kind of want to, but I can't. And I know that on stuff, you know, you got to check it. Otherwise, check it or pay for it or deal with it or whatever you got to do. On my old 2-stroke race bike, I was at the point to where I was fueling it so hard, I needed to have a drain on my crankcase, because sometimes it would fill up with fuel. A lot. And, yeah, you couldn't have that. It was bad. And I was about to the point where I was going to drill a big hole in my crankcase and put a valve in there to where I could open the valve and let stuff drain out. Didn't ever quite get there because I decided to leave the 2-stroke world, you know, the crazy racing 2-stroke world. And that was when I built my first 4-stroke bike. And then I got a turbo on it shortly after that. So, yeah, it was lots of fun and I got hooked. Go figure. But on the intercooler, I almost kind of want to check, because, you know, the tank down here, you know, it's, you know, unless I'm going to have to completely unhook everything, you know, I can see if anything comes out over there, you know, just by, you know, tilting it over. Once I unhook, you know, bolt, unhook assembly, rotate, pivot, see if anything comes out. If nothing comes out, that's really what I want. But, you know, it'd be nice if we could check. Because one time, the way that this is set up, fuel will backfeed. You guys can see sitting up on the stand, it's slightly higher. If way too much fuel comes out of these carburetors, it can leak back into my surge tank, which will come down into my charge tube, which will come down. And you know, I could probably just take this off. If I take my coupler off and there's anything in there, we should take everything apart. But okay, yeah, we should probably do that. And okay, yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. So I'm glad I thought about that, because that may be really easy, because I can just pop it off here, pop it off. Okay, let's do that. And yeah, so, but if fuel runs down and then settles into here, and then we fire it up with a bunch of fuel in here, I want to find out what could happen. That might be bad. It just go boom. No. Let's pop this off. Let's see if we can take this one off. It goes back in this charge pipe a ways. May not be easy, but we can check. We should probably just go ahead and pop this one off too, because it may be easier to pull it off here. Because I need to learn this process, because it may be something we need to do from now on. Okay, so that should maybe pop out of there. It's moving. Oh, here it comes. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay. This isn't being difficult either. I'm successful. Oh, okay. Okay, we got nothing. It's completely dry. Let's hang that up here for 1 second. If we can, hang out, please, right there. Thank you. I see just some silvery gook, you know, there's some paint on here, you know, so that's really what that is. I feel nothing. Oh, yay. I'm glad we checked that. I'm glad we popped that off. Yeah, there's nothing in here. It's completely dry in there too. Awesome. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. And you guys can see now my oil assembly, how it comes and wraps around. So now I can peek down, and I can see my oil pressure while I'm riding. Oh, that's so good. I'm loving that, because I couldn't do that before. We can now. I should go wipe my fingers off because I got them dirty. We need more clean inspection fingers. 1 sec. Okay, we got clean fingers again. And yeah, we might as well make him a little cleaner too. A little bit of shop dust on there. I think he just likes coming outside because he knows he's going to get cleaned up. If I see sunlight and dust, I got to get that away. Number 78, ready to do battle. And once again, these are just all the people I want to thank. Motion Bro for all my lovely cables that are hopefully going to work good and not get melted, like my clutch cable that has I've melted 2 now. And of course, gotta love some 1320. And yeah, right there, guys. Ridgeline Motorsports for my local viewers, because I know some of you guys probably aren't going to be able to travel in the next week. For my locals, here it is, guys. It's been underground. It finally just got let out. April 19th, we are going to be at that location, hanging out, doing stuff. I have a feeling we're going to be cruising all over Limburg, and this will probably be, it'll be at the show for a bit, because I think that's a reserved spot show, and they're now selling tickets online. If you look there at the flyer, they're selling tickets online for reserved spots. It's a real car show, guys. It's a real Cruisin' Limburg car show. I wish my fancy custom T-bucket could be a part of that. But we're still waiting on parts. Still working. Soon. But over here. Yeah. So, Richline is probably going to be a way cool show too. All my bros are gonna be there. Hopefully I might have some other bikes there. I might have some other people with some way cool bikes there. Probably my bros from the Socios are gonna be there, so the whole Socio Lowrider crew could possibly be there too. I don't know who's gonna be out cruising that day, and really we're just, please Lord, we need some good weather for both of these days coming up. 13th is IFO. Import face-off. It's gonna be some heat, guys. Get ready. The plan. I'm gonna be there for if they need some entertainment between rounds. I might be able to get it out, in the lanes and put it up on the 2-step and do a big ruckus burnout and possibly make a pass, tuned at 14 pounds. If I do, it's going to be bonkers, and I'm going to set the world's fastest CB750 record. It's just barely into the 9s, and if I can go anywhere into 9 seconds, right here, world's fastest. Crazy. It's IFO. They might have good prep track, good track prep. We need the best prep around, which they can do. So, but then too, Cruisin' Limburg, I need it back to street tune. Right now we're tuned for the racetrack, and I need to redial everything for the street, because the street tune is bonkers. It won't work at the racetrack. The racetrack tune is bonkers on the street. So, what we do, guys? I'm doing this for you guys, but he tells me kind of what to do. What do you guys want to see? Because I want to go to both. And I'm pretty sure he does too. Well, I know for a fact he does too, because we're out here loving this sunshine. He's just, yeah. I think he wants to say something to y'all right now. He's whispering in my ear saying, Ben, let's show them a little heat. You guys want to see some heat? We'll see what it does. Okay, fuel's on. Got my charge pipe put back together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. was thinking. We're out of fuel. Kind of wanted to use up what little bit of fuel was in there and give that last test. Make sure we're good. I'm watching everything, which I can't really do when I'm riding. I like to just be able to sit and watch everything while we're doing it. We're good. Okay, I'm just checking everything out now post-run. I don't see any funny business. You know what little bit of seeping we wiped off up there, that was good. There's nothing coming out while it was running. Need to double check down here just my free plays. That's good. That's my mechanical rear brake that's been lightened and actually works really good. It's kind of surprising how well that drum brake does work, because I've had this thing going very fast now. From the beginning, my front brake wasn't working too good because it's a complete redo with a later model caliper on the early model forks. So I was kind of just using my rear and being easy on that just because I wasn't quite sure. But that works great. And up here, it's a dual piston caliper that's now set up with my later model master cylinder, you know, with my fancy levers on it. Fancy adjustable levers. And that's working great. I can slow this thing from 100 to 0 real quick. So yeah, we're good. And actually I'm super glad, that assembly, I'd pop that off and checked it. Super easy to get back on there too, with my little clamps here, because I have stuff welded on there, so it won't slide out real easy. And yeah, it's good because it's kind of trapped in there and it can't just pop off, because that tube, it slides in all the way to this joint. It doesn't just barely go in there. It goes all the way up here. So yeah, same thing in here. It goes in quite a ways. I learned that years ago. If you make them short, they pop out. So don't make them short. Make them go in the coupler and you're good to go. Because that's about to see a bunch of boost. It's gonna swell up that entire system. All that will grow with a bunch of boost. It's gonna have close to 14 PSI in there. So yeah. And if you guys were wondering, there's an air filter right here too. That's not for air coming in. Well, kinda, only at if it needs a gulp for idle. There's reed valves in here. There's stainless steel reed valves that open slightly. When there's boost in the surge tank, the reed valve slams shut and they will not even slightly open or leak air out of this filter. I've tested it. So it only sneaks a little bit of air in. When it comes back down to vacuum, it needs that gulp of air for idle to let it surge back down to idle, which the tank will let air in at idle to let it go back down to idle because it transfers. The boost leaves here at my massive blow-off valve. When this opens at idle, it allows it to transfer back to carbureted, because yeah, those are still Honda carburetors that from revved up, it goes from, normal revving with that's still points. So I dial my points in with my MSD box, which is hiding back here, and that's all good. My whole assembly is working great with my factory carburetors that are tuned in with my blow through, which it's kind of impossible to see now because it's all underneath the carburetors, but it comes down to this vent, which I can control my vent right here. That's closed, so I'm getting all my fuel pressure. I get lots of fueling when it's closed. If I open it to right there, that's where it's about 10.5 to 1 at full boost. When it's closed, we measured on the dyno at 9.2 to 1. So when you close that thing, it's way rich, even at full boost. Because at full boost, it's pressurizing those carburetors. And it works great, guys. So we're good. And yeah, loving that whole setup. I'm just, once again, just looking at everything, double checking. This is my points assembly right here that comes up here. If you guys know that these had those weird connectors from Honda that are the bullet connectors. See if I can slide this back, because I just want to kind of check it so you guys can see too. That's not a bullet connector. It's an Avex snap-on connector. I think that's a 6mm connector. There's a couple other wires in there that go to my brake switch, which I have the mount right here for a brake switch. I just haven't fabricated, I haven't bought, I think I have everything done. I can hook it up to here to where my return spring, and I can hook it up to here. So if I get a switch, I can hook it up here and then actually have brake lights, which come up here to my LEDs. There's LEDs on here on both sides, which actually work really good. And they work with my front lever now. So the brake lights do work, but if I get them to work with the rear brake, that would be much more street friendly because, yeah, this is a street bike, guys. So, back to the plan. My plan. We're going to go to IFO. There's a two-step competition. There's racing, and it's really a massive car show. With, you know, a racing car show with a bunch of badass cars. And I want to be there to, you know, show you guys and shoot a cool vid. But we got this thing now, too. So, we're taking it. If we're going to IFO. And then, if I don't destroy it at IFO, which, please, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Cruising Lindbergh. So, as I always say, much more to come. Like, share, and subscribe because there's going to be some sweet vids coming up if this weather sticks with us. Right now, I think everybody's praying. This weather has been kind of bonkers lately. It's kind of good right now, but tomorrow it's not supposed to be. And I don't think it's supposed to be the day after. So, it's kind of really why I want to get out here now and just kind of check everything over, you know. I don't really want to go for a ride right now because I need to button this back up and getting this thing go to work. So, much more to come, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. We need lots of views so I can make this thing better. We can finish the little T, turbo little T, and we can go cruising, have lots of fun, shoot some cool vids, and do lots of fun stuff, and get this ball rolling. It's gonna be lots of fun, guys. When in doubt, figure it out. Then go for a ride. Lots of fun. Let's ride.